All right. So welcome everybody. It's beautiful to have all of you here with us. And while we are still waiting for the rest to join us, I want to use this opportunity to welcome all of you. It's so beautiful to have you join us. And this is a movement that we are on, guys. And so if you know any of your colleague educators or teachers who are not yet in this session, kindly inform them. Send the link to them. Send it to your friends, your colleagues, even your enemies, all right? Let them see that there is a light popping up here. Now, this is a movement, and you don't want to miss this. We are coming with so many opportunities for educators all across this country, and you want to be a beneficiary of what is coming, right? And that is why you want to stick around and get to know all of what is about to happen for you as an educator, as a facilitator, as a teacher, because there's a lot for us to know. There's a lot of opportunities. Yesterday, I was speaking with some of our partners, and look, it's so beautiful for those of us who are going to be staying to the end. You're going to have the opportunity to pitch your ideas with us, right? Our partners are ready to bring you on board and to join you in whatever project you want to come up with at the end of this course, as long as it falls in line with Edtech, educational technology, right? And so, without wasting much time, I want to be as quick as possible. Let's get right into this. Now, things that I want you to observe for now is to put out any distraction, right? If you have anything that is going to distract you, if you are walking by a place that you may not be able to hear clearly, kindly put out any form of distraction. And then if you are not having an earpiece, if you have one earby or a headphone, please put it on so that you can hear the sound more clearly, more audibly. And I want you to also pick up your notepad and your pens because you're going to be jotting down a lot of stuff. There are some opportunities that I'm going to be sharing in this session, and you may want to be penning down some of these things, right? And the next thing is to put your phone on landscape mode. This is going to help you to see my screen very well and to see whatever I am sharing with you. Then I need you to pay attention and be ready to learn. Now let's get right into this. What exactly are we going to be learning today? What is there in this course? So we are going to talk about what this whole webinar is about. We are going to talk about introduction to educational technology. Then we're also going to look at the role of you as an educator, right? And then finally, where the wine is, the juiciest part of this whole webinar will be to explore the opportunities of educational technology. We're going to be discussing all of that, and it's amazing. If you're going to stay to the end, I have something beautiful, especially at the fourth point, where we will be talking about the opportunities that you can have. And trust me, these opportunities can be life transforming and life changing, right? And so, what exactly is this webinar about? Now, I have four things right here that I need you to take notice of. So, this webinar is first of all to provide an avenue for both teachers and those who are inclined to technology. Right? I know that we have varying levels of knowledge when it comes to technology. You have no idea what technology or what educational technology, how technology is influencing education all across the world. And so this webinar is to throw more light on those things, those innovations and emergence for those teachers to also become beneficiaries and partakers of all those opportunities. And the second thing is to resource you and the rest of educators you know to be abreast with the current tech trend. Where is the current tech trend going to be? I was having a conversation with a friend in the field of medicine, and I was telling her, did you know that you people, are you aware that artificial intelligence is going to be able to do a lot of the work that you are doing? Are you aware? How are you going to apply artificial intelligence in your work? Because trust me, If you don't learn it today, somebody who has knowledge in that field is going to push you out of your post, right? So these things are things you don't want to joke with because job security is now at risk, right? Just recently, one of the tech companies laid off about 1,000 employees. Why? Because artificial intelligence can do their work, right? And so, if you are an educator, you must be interested in the next phase of education, the next emergence of education. Which direction is it going to go? These are questions you need to be asking yourself. Are you going to be in this same space for the next 20 years, for the next 30 years? What is the technologies that are going to be emerging in your field, right? And then the third thing is to help you diversify your income. And this is beautiful because we are going to be sharing opportunities that can help you, right, make leverage. You're going to be leveraging on emerging technologies and how they are going to help you diversify your income sources. Because one of the things I have seen in this country is that a lot of teachers only stick to the four corners of the classroom without thinking about how to innovate, how to diversify, how to use that same educational knowledge and apply it into other fields, right? And that is exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And then lastly, to explore the rest of the opportunities that are going to be emerging, like I said, our partners are ready to be sponsoring and to be partnering with you on your project. And so this is an amazing thing, right? This is going to be a beautiful journey for both you and us, all of us at TIT Ghana, right? This is a beautiful opportunity that you don't want to miss. Now, let's talk about educational technology, Edtech for short. And when we talk about educational technology, we are saying it is the use of technology to enhance and support teaching and learning. Now, I know that where we live in this part of the world, we are tempted sometimes to think that we lack or we are behind advancement and the rest of the civilization that goes on in the first world countries. And so when you talk about technology and how it is going to affect our work, sometimes we begin to doubt how when are we going to get there and all of that. We have all those doubts and biases as to whether technology is going to be able to influence our education system the way it does in other parts of the world. But you know what? Trust me, I'll show you a particular document in the course of this presentation. I'm going to be showing you a document from McKinsey. Now, those of you who are um, familiar with the company called McKinsey, you know that it is no joke, right? There is a white paper that McKinsey released in 2017 that has a lot to do with education, especially in third world Africa, right? And it talks about how they are going to transform education by bringing in 24.4 million teachers who are going to be versed in technology. And so, if you are not privy to some of these documents, you may think that conversations like this are far from you. But what you don't know is that it is the information that you are away from and that it is going to be happening in no time. And so this is not something you want to joke with. Like I said, job security is going to be at risk and you don't want to lose your job to somebody who has learned something that you could have also learned. And so when we talk about EdTech, it includes a wide range of tools and platforms from online learning management systems to mobile apps and gamified learning experiences. Now, if you are familiar with gamified learning in DL or differentiated learning, those are some of the things that are used to help learners to acquire knowledge. And that is the phase of education that we are entering into. And as a teacher, you need to be curious. You need to be interested. You need to be curious about these things so that you can know which direction your career, your profession is going into, right? Because you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. And so when we talk about educational technology, it is simply the application of technology to enhance education, to enhance teaching and learning. And Some of the things that make up educational technology are things like learning management systems, LMS. Now, when we talk about LMS, just in case you don't know, LMS, an example of LMS is Udemy, right? Coursera. All those are what we call learning management systems. These are online platforms that contain courses and materials and resources that enhances or helps people to learn a particular skill, to acquire a particular knowledge, and also certify them, right? So it's not just about learning, it's also about the certification. What shows that you have gone through this course? These things are what make up Edtech, and that is the phase that we are entering into. I know these things have been around for long. Just in case you don't know, these things have been around. But we are now going to zone into the deeper depths of these things because these things have been in existence and we were delaying to adapt ourselves to it. But now is the time and we cannot run away from it. And so we need to man up and then be responsible to pick up this knowledge, this body of knowledge. You can talk about online learning platforms, you can talk about gamified learning platforms, collaborative tools, tools that allow you to learn, share a particular topic, discuss particular lessons with your colleagues, with your learners, right? These are things that are happening today, and that is the phase that we are entering into. I keep telling my people that if you are in any profession, if you are in any organization, any institution, and you are ignorant of the next phase of that institution, then it means that you are not safe. So if you don't know the future of education, then your job is at risk. You are at the risk of losing your job because you need to be able to familiarize yourself with the terrain. You should know what you are evolving into because that gives you leverage over your colleagues, right? We have adaptive learning platforms, digital whiteboards, and there are companies that are developing digital whiteboards that you can go into partnerships with. And we will talk about all of those things because, you know, do not think that the knowledge you acquire from the university, from the college, is limited to the four corners of your classroom. You must be able to do what we call knowledge staking, where you combine different bodies of knowledge, right, and make your own leverage. These are the things we are talking about. And then the next one is open educational resources. Now, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to be sharing with you a list of open educational resources where you can acquire knowledge without paying any school fees, right? You can acquire certificates from foreign institutions like Stanford, like Harvard, and you are going to be certified without paying any fees. These are open educational resources. These are open educational resources. They have been made available to the public, and people like you can take advantage of it because it's going to help you, right? Imagine going to, right, make a proposal to, say, a district director or a private institution, educational institution, and you say, I have this academic background in education from Harvard. That alone gives you a certain level of credibility, and you don't want to lose it. So you, as an educator, with all the things that are coming up, with all the evolution that we are seeing today, what is your role in all of these things? What role do you stand to play? And one of them is instructional design. You are going to be an instructional designer. You're going to play an important role in designing effective educational technology learning experiences. See, the classroom, that traditional classroom as we have known it, is about to change. It is shifting. It's about time that we start to evolve all those classroom learning experiences. And see, sometimes we know we have to do it, but if we fail to do it, if we fail to recognize that this is the time for us to do it, you are going to be seeing policies that enforce these innovations, these emergence of technology in our education systems. So get ready for it because that is where you are going. You cannot run away from it, except maybe you want to quit the education sector and get into something else, right? So you are going to be required to become an instructional designer. How do you design a certain learning experience that factors educational technology? And when you stay with us, as I mean, the platform is there, you're already in our community. So these are all things that we are going to be going through, right? I have had the opportunity to interact with some of our partners and colleagues from different countries. And when you see the innovations and all of the technologies that they are building to enhance education in their classrooms, it's so beautiful. And learners are now beginning to manipulate these materials, these resources, and by so doing, they are enhancing their own body of knowledge, their own horizon, right? They are expanding it. Just because they are teachers, they are educators and supervisors have been able to come up with all of these ed tech resources. And these are some of the things you are going to be required to do as an instructor, as a facilitator, as an educator. Now, the next thing you're going to be doing as a tutor, as an educator, is that you are also a facilitator, and that by leveraging on edtech tools, you can facilitate learning by providing students with opportunities to explore, to collaborate, and to problem solve. See, edtech is about solving problems. It's about collaborating with people from different environments. I spoke with one of the teachers, right? I spoke with one teacher and I was telling her, you know what? I know we are distance apart, but I want your school to have some sort of virtual educational exchange with students from this particular school. And what does that mean? It means that a child in a rural area is now going to be exposed to the learning experiences of children in the cities, the urban areas. And when you do that, you help the learner in the rural areas to expand their exposure, to begin to realize that life is not limited to their locality. And that is what you are doing. It may not mean much to you, but it means the world to that child. And maybe they may not be able to reward you or pay you today, but tell you what, your name will be on their lips as a testimony because you gave them an exposure to the outer world. A lot of these kids do not know that kids in other parts of the country are using some of these educational technology resources. They don't know. The only thing they know are the things in their environment. And so by organizing these kinds of virtual exchanges, you are giving those kids the exposure. And these are things we need to start embracing as educators. Now, you must also learn to be a technology integrator. Now, what that simply means is that you are going to be able to integrate these things in your own lesson planning. See, do you know that there are tools today, there are platforms today that can write your lesson plans for you? They can give you resources for you with ease within a few minutes. All you need to do is type in the topic you want to teach, type in the class you want to teach, and it will write a complete lesson plan for you, step by step guide, give you variants, varieties of approaches that you can use to teach those lessons. Because sometimes we may have limited, right? We may be limited in coming up with approaches and pedagogies that will help the learner to imbibe the knowledge you want to pass across to them. And so these resources give you varieties that you can use. And that is going to give you leverage because your students are going to be more understanding of your lessons. They're going to be more able to understand what you are teaching, right? Now, like I said, do not limit the knowledge you acquired from the university and your college to the four corners of the classroom. You want to also become a data analyst in your classroom. You are not just a teacher, you are also supposed to embrace EdTech and become a data analyst in your classroom. Now, what that means is that you are going to be using educational technology tools to generate data on students' learning behaviors and performance. And trust me, the people who have data today are the most powerful in the world. People with data are the people that are the most powerful in the world today. So talk about people like Mark Zuckerberg. Talk about people like Elon Musk. These are people who have data, right? Mark Zuckerberg has different platforms and has over he has about billions of people. And sometimes you may not know, but they have more data on you than you do on yourself. Why do you think you jump on Google to search for something? The next minute you went on Facebook and you see a Facebook ad, a sponsored post that is also about the same thing you Googled. These people have data on you that you are not aware of. And that is how come they are on top of their game. That is why they are on top of their game. So as a teacher, you want to start putting data together. You need to start leveraging the tools of the internet. You need to start leveraging educational technology tools like Power BI that helps you organize data, right? That you will need to analyze and interpret this data because it's going to help you improve your teaching practices. It helps you to understand your learner. It helps you to understand the school systems. If you are a head teacher, you are a headmaster of any institution, even see, this is not just about education. This applies to even your own business, your private business that you are running. Organizing data will help you to be able to tell the future of your business. It will help you to tell you the future of your students. It will help you to tell the future of your institution based on this data that you have been able to organize. Right? So when the learner does something today, you organize all of those data, put them into a data analytic tool, and it is going to process this data for you and give you feedback. So it does things like predictive analysis, where it is able to predict and tell you the possibilities that could be concerning a particular learner, concerning your business, why are you losing customers and all of that. And when you have this body of knowledge, I tell you, do not just think about applying it in your classrooms. You can approach other businesses and tell them, you know what, I could help you, right? Increase your revenue by this. I can help you find problems that are impeding your business growth. These are things, these are opportunities that you can leverage. And we haven't even gotten into the opportunities yet, right? These are just the surfaces. And so these are not things you want to run away from. These are things you want to stick to. The next thing is that you are a professional learner. So educators need to be lifelong learners. You need to continually seek out new knowledge and skills that will help you be current with the latest Edtech development. How many of you have heard of ChatGPT? If you have heard of ChatGPT, you can type it in the comment. Yes, I have. If you have heard of ChatGPT before, you can type it in the comment. I want to know how many of you have heard of ChatGPT. And by the way, ChatGPT is not just artificial intelligence. It is just one of the many, right? And these are tools and resources that you will need. It will make you look like a magician to your learners. It will make you look like a magician. Sometimes when a learner asks you a question and you are giving it to them as homework because you don't know the answer, right? Now, resources like ChatGPT will give you an instant answer, give you a step-by-step guide. That's assuming you know how to use it. And if you are worried about not knowing how to use it, don't worry. Artificial intelligence is still in the early phases. And once you are still with us, I promise you, we are going to be taking you through how to use ChatGPT as an educator. So do not worry about that at all because you are not missing out. Now, because I don't want to expand this, I don't want to go beyond, say, 40 minutes, right? So I want to take you right into the opportunities that you can leverage as an educator. Now, did you know that as an educator, you could start leveraging what we call online courses to make more money for yourself? Did you know you could create and sell online courses on various topics like coding, graphic design, artificial intelligence, digital marketing, even the science and maths you teach in school? Do you know that a lot of teachers do not even have any idea what computing is about? Meanwhile, they are required to teach computing to their learners, but they are struggling. Some teachers are skipping topics. So pick out these books, pick that computing book, create online courses about these topics, and sell it out to these teachers. Just in case you don't know how to do it, it's super easy, it's super simple. There are platforms like Silla.co that can help you market it, can help you create an online course and sell it easily, right? So these are all things that we are going to be talking about in our subsequent presentations. And that's why you don't want to miss this, right? You don't want to miss it because the opportunities are numerous. You can create online courses. You see, now that you have all gathered here, we are all in a meeting, right? You are here because you are interested, and sometimes that's the problem because you are thinking, will anybody be interested in learning about computing? Of course, what is common knowledge to you is not common knowledge to the rest of the people, and that is why they will be willing to pay you to learn. Because if they don't learn, they are going to look like failures in their classrooms. Because if the child comes to you and says, "Sir, what is a database? I don't understand." And you yourself, you don't even know what a database is. What are you going to tell the child? Right? So one of the things you can do is for you to grasp all the knowledge about databases. For example, I'm just using database as an example, right? And create online courses. See, you can create online courses about database and sell it, market it to your colleagues in that district. Go to every school and tell them you are looking for the computing teacher, the ICT master. Tell them that, you know what, I have this course that I am putting out. It's on computing, all the topics in computing. I have made it so easy, I have simplified it, and this is something that you can learn and teach your kids. I tell you, they are going to buy it. They are going, they are going to buy it because they don't know. Everybody is looking for solutions. They are looking for things that work. So if you have the solution, why not? People are ready to pay for it. People are not stingy, right? A lot of things are not working. And so when people find something that works, they cannot leave it because it works, right? If you can simplify these courses and make them understand, they will buy it. They know they are struggling, right? So apart from that, you can become a virtual teacher, a virtual tutor. Now, there are awesome platforms that allow you to tutor people from different countries. Last time I was trying one of these days and I was using one of the platforms, right? And it's beautiful when they are going to pay you like $12 an hour. Some are paying you $15 an hour to teach English. See, the opportunities you have as an educator are countless. It is only that the only challenge is that you limit yourself to the four corners of your classroom and you are thinking about the extra classes you can organize in your area. What if the students are not coming? There are students online who want to learn. They want to learn how to speak English. The same English you are teaching in your classroom, you can teach it online. And some of these students are going to be paying you as much as $20 per hour to learn from you. So why are you not taking advantage? Well, maybe because you did not know. Now you know, right? And so all of these opportunities I'm sharing with you are things that we are going to go through in our subsequent presentations. In our subsequent meetings, we are going to go through all of these things. And so you don't have to worry about it if you don't know anything about it yet, because you're going to learn about it. You can also become an online coach. See, when you start learning educational technology and you start understanding the use of technology in education and how education is going to evolve in the next few years, you can become a master of this and become a coach to the rest of the teachers. And so you can approach an institution, an educational institution, right? You can submit proposals to them to train their teachers in educational technology. And that's the beautiful thing about it. You can rather, instead of just being a teacher, you can add public speaking to it, where you begin to speak about educational technology in the space of education, how it is going to affect education, what they need to do to be able to game up, to up their games, right? These are things you can do. So you can offer coaching services for educators, for parents. There are parents who want their kids to learn about technology. So all of these opportunities are there for you to explore. They are there, right? And these are things you don't want to miss. You really do not want to miss them. The next thing I want to talk about is application development. And don't worry if you don't know how to code, but there are platforms that allow you to create applications without using a single line of code. So you can create apps and sell them. You can monetize them. You know how you download an app and you start seeing adverts. You download an app and you start seeing adverts. These are not things that are difficult to do. You can also do it. Create an educational app, right? And then just make sure that you have adverts running. And maybe you are asking, how do I do that? Well, there are so many resources, right? There are advertising companies like AdMob, like Start.io, like Ion Source, right? All of these are advertising companies that will put adverts in your app. The more people see those ads, the more money you make, the more revenue you generate, right? These are things you can do. All you need to do is to just have a Google developer account, and it will only cost you $25. It's a lifetime thing. You can publish as many apps as you want on Google uh, um, Play Store, right? So that the more people download your app, install them, start using it, and see the ads, the more revenue you also make. These are opportunities you need to explore. And let's talk about Edtech consulting. We can offer consulting services just like coaching to educational institutions on how they can effectively integrate technology, because technology is happening and people are they are struggling to adapt. They are struggling to adapt, and so with the knowledge that you have gained, you should be able to help these people out, right? And they are going to pay you for it because you're not going to do it for free, you know. So another opportunity is creating AI powered assessment tools. You can develop and sell AI powered assessment tools that can analyze and provide feedback on student work. A time is coming when you don't need report cards and all of those stuff. You know, there are going to be AI powered resources and tools that will do all of those works for you. I mean, think about it, that you have finished marking your end of term exams and you now have to grade learners according to their positions, and you are now struggling who is first, who is second, when a particular tool can just do this for you in a second. So why do you waste your time taking lines and marking and trying to find out who is first, who is second, when a particular tool can just sort these things out for you? So these are things that they are going to save you time. They are going to save you resources. You know, and so just by being able to come up with some of these things and see, maybe you don't know how to create AI powered tools. There are people who are willing to do it for you. Only that you may pay them a fee, just a small fee, and they are willing to do it for you. You can create a business, an entire business model around these solutions that you are building. For instance, I want to build a database for a school, right? Now, the database I'm going to build for the school is going to contain the names of all the learners in the school, old, present, and future learners. They are going to have their names in that database, their dates of birth, their parents' background, and everything, their academic performance, and all of that. They are going to have all of these in a database. Now, if I'm able to create this database, what these people need to do now is they don't have to worry. Whenever they admit a student, they just have to key in their student's details, and that's it. You don't have to call the child and say, you know what, go and bring your weighing card, go and bring this. No, 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 no. You cut all of those things short. Now, this is a solution you are building for that educational institution. You know, if you have ever been to a school that has collapsed before, you know how this thing works. Imagine you completed JHS in a school and you need your BC certificate, and you went to the school and they said, the school has collapsed. It's no longer working, it's no longer functioning. How would you even feel? Although you can get your certificate from WAEC, But how do you think WAEC is able to give you your certificate? It's because they have a database that contains every single detail on all the people who take their exams. That's how come they're able to produce another certificate for you. And so by being able to create a database for an institution, you are offering a lifetime solution. Now tell me why they will not pay you. Because you are solving a problem. So tell me why they will not pay you. You get it? Tell me why they will not pay you. You know. And that's not all of the opportunities you can get to even explore. You know, there are things like virtual field trips. You can become a virtual field trip. You know, if you like traveling, you can start creating all of those experiences. You know, sometimes we want to take our kids on excursions, right? If you love traveling as a tutor, one of the things you want to do is to keep a documentary of your travel experiences. Curate all of these videos and pictures and images, right, into a resource material and sell it out to other educators, other educational institutions who want to show it to their kids, who are going to use it as a teaching and learning resource for their children, so that they can also have an experience of how it feels like to be in that environment. So, you see, these are all opportunities you can take, right? These are opportunities you can explore. But the question is, why are you not taking the opportunity? Why are you not taking it? You've been traveling. Why are you not taking those videos? Why are you not talking about the places you visited? In our subsequent meetings, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can go about some of these things. We are going to talk about how you can curate some of these resources and package them and put them into a monetizable format that you can sell to others. Then the next thing is education, technology, events, and conferences. You see, this is a webinar on educational technology, and you are gladly here, you are enjoying it because somebody decided to do something. So, why don't you send a proposal to, let's say, the officers in charge of your district or wherever institution you serve, your circuit, and say, you know what, I want to organize an educational technology meeting, workshop, or conference for this circuit. I bet you, I'm not sure your CISO will deny that experience. See, these are things you can do, and by doing that, sometimes you have to do it for free, right? Because freemium is what baits the people. It's like going for fishing. You need to put a certain meat on the hook so that you can get a bigger meat. So sometimes you do the things for free so that you can get a bigger one in return. So I do it first time for free. Obviously, it's not everybody who is going to understand it, right? So you can offer one-on-one coaching services after you have organized a free workshop for them, and then you will charge them for the one-on-one. These are opportunities you should be taking advantage of. I am hoping that this will encourage you to start taking steps towards it. Because see, once you're on our community, you are part of us, right? And we are willing to go to every extent to help you succeed in this field. We are willing to share all the resources we know, all the resources that are available to us to help you succeed in this field. And so all that we are seeking from you is to be willing, the willingness to take responsibility, the willingness to take action on this. And like I said, our partners are willing to give you the opportunity to offer your pitch, right? If you have any educational technology solution, if you have any solution that you believe that this thing can help education, come and pitch with us, right? And we will see what resources we can pull together to help you see that vision come to pass. Some of you, your breakthrough is actually not going to come from just teaching. And sometimes it's about having that experiences, identifying problems in that experiences, and building solutions for those problems. So some of you are there You are in the education sector only to identify problems and find solutions to them. That is going to be your leverage, right? So you can create e-learning platforms for students. You can create e-learning platforms for students. You can monetize the platform. Students will come there to learn. It's like organizing classes online. And I say, look, the people you can teach online are not only the people in your immediate environment. There are people from different places across the length and breadth of this country that you can teach. They are willing to learn. So it's important that you take advantage of all of this, and I'm going to show you how. But until then, this is just the beginning of Teachers in Tech Ghana and all that we stand for. Because there's a lot more, like I have said, a lot more. Now, on our platform, on our WhatsApp platform, I am going to be dropping links to some of the open educational resources where you can start taking courses in other programs that you are interested in, and like institutions like Stanford, like MIT, all these institutions are offering free online courses and they are ready to certify you. Imagine you have in your CV and you say, I have a background in computer science from Harvard University. I have a background in computer science from Stanford University. Tell me which company will not be willing to give you an opportunity in their firm, right? So we are living in a global village. It's important that you take advantage of all that technology offers. And by so doing, I promise you, there's a lot more opportunities for you to expand both your knowledge as a teacher and to increase your income, especially if you're a male, because you have a lot of responsibilities and you need this to help you. you know. So thank you for staying with me throughout this particular first phase of our presentations, and I want to encourage you to stay up to date, right, with all of our subsequent presentations. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, invite your colleague teachers who are not here to become partakers of this resource. It's a beautiful thing when all of us are succeeding, right? And so thank you so much. I'm going to see you and share the rest of all relevant resources on our platform. Stick and stay, and I'll see you all shortly. Cheers, guys. Have a wonderful May day. Bye bye.